Hello and welcome to the 20th Annual Women of Excellence Awards Program. I'm Tammy Killen, Chief Executive Officer for St. Joseph YWCA. We are back for another virtual event, thank you to KQ2. We're also able to recognize some amazing women in our community, which the YWCA has been doing for 133 years. You are with me today at the newly renovated Country Club in Country Club Village. Our lovely decorations are from Deidre Lee May from Every Last Detail. We are thankful for Deidre for her continued support in this tradition. I also want to thank Wing Printing and Portraits by Long for our wonderful program booklets. And thank you Steve Craig for Steve's Challenge, KQ2 for the development of this program, and the following sponsors. This year's theme for the event is 20 years of recognizing strong women. We are very excited and honored to continue this tradition. We are also very thankful to our steering committee and leadership of the YWCA who started this event 20 years ago. These women had a vision and a desire to bring women together by recognizing the many accomplishments and strengths so many have in our community. Looking back over the years, it's been pretty inspiring to see how many women have been nominated and recognized for their achievements and work in leadership and volunteerism. We truly have been able to recognize strong women, and we are honored to continue to do so. Our hope is that you can sit back, enjoy the program, and join us in celebrating strong women. We will be announcing the winners of each category, which will be for the first time. Although acceptance speeches have been pre-recorded, none of our nominees are aware of who the awardees are for the 7 categories. This event is also an important fundraiser for YWCA St. Joseph. This helps with necessary program funding for our shelter and other victim services. Here to tell us more about this is Andrea Howe, Board Chair of YWCA Board of Directors.
If you have been to Women of Excellence before, you know that Steve Craig has sponsored Steve's Challenge for the past 14 years. Steve continues to assist us with raising necessary funds for YWCA and to encourage sponsorships with the match. We want to thank the following sponsors for Women of Excellence 2021, and if you haven't given yet or want to give more, please keep in mind that any gift of $100 or more is eligible for the State Domestic Violence 50% tax credit. Throughout the program, you will have an opportunity to help us raise funds and meet our match, so please place your call at 816-232-4481 or go on our website to place a donation at ywcasj.org. We are also very happy that we are able to continue the cupcake raffle. Thanks to Crumbs Cake and Cookie designed by Brienne, we were able to provide pre-orders for a delicious 6-pack of 3 varieties. The names of those who pre-ordered have been entered into a drawing. 2 winners will be drawn to receive a diamond necklace from Kristen's Coin and Jewelry or a Botox treatment by Dr. Jonathan Amsbacher. These winners will be announced tomorrow evening on Live at 5. The money raised through the cupcake raffle and sponsorships will be utilized to support important YWCA programs. Thank you for your support.
The current sponsorship will be displayed on the screen throughout the program, and we hope to see these numbers increase as the program continues and re-airs at 6 p.m. If you haven't donated or sponsored us, please consider this to help us meet the Steve's Craig match. Your donation of any size is much appreciated. Our Women of Excellence Awards program started out as an opportunity to recognize women and employers who make a difference in our community through their work and volunteer service. In fact, several of these women who spearheaded this concept are still assisting, contributing, and advocating for it today. In 20 years, the YWCA will have recognized around 900 women and businesses, awarded around $15,000 in scholarships to high school seniors. As mentioned before, this program has also become a significant YWCA fundraiser to support our shelter and for abused and homeless women and children. Today, we will be recognizing and celebrating around 35 nominees and showcase 10 women, which includes our Lifetime Achievement awardees and our 2021 Y Women of Merit. There may be diversity in interests and talents and skills, and yet they are all excellent examples of outstanding, empowered, and strong women, and we appreciate the gift of service to our community. A group of women who truly understand the concept of excellence is our steering committee. The committee consists of YWCA staff and community members. Our co-chairs this year are Leanne Leonard and Brandy Lutz. These women have helped us to orchestrate the many details and decisions that make this awards program a true collaboration. I want to thank Leanne and Brandy and the entire committee for their creativity and exceptional work for this event. I also want to recognize a very special lady to our steering committee. And she is actually the original steering committee member and former YWCA board chair. This is Carol Burns. Carol has been instrumental in not only helping come up with the idea of Women of Excellence, but ensuring the legacy has continued for the last 20 years. Although Carol will downplay her role, we simply can't express our gratitude enough on what she has done to make this event happen. Her vision and determination are incredible assets, which YWCA St. Joseph has been able to utilize for the past 20 years. Another group critical to the success of today's event is our watch party captains. In previous years, they were known as table captains. Again, this year, instead of generating a huge crowd at the Civic Arena, they have helped us develop watch parties throughout the city for people to enjoy the event. We are very thankful to each of you who have thrown a watch party, been a part of a watch party, and we thank the St. Joseph Country Club for hosting a watch party. I hope you all are enjoying the show and having a great time. I can't leave out a huge anchor of support and work for this event without mentioning YWCA staff. I truly hope staff know how valued they are, how much I appreciate the work they do, not only for this event, but for the service they provide in our community. I am so blessed to work with men and women who embrace our mission. I appreciate and love our YWCA family. YWCA St. Joseph enhances the quality of childcare, helping children enter school ready to learn, supports pregnant and parenting teens to stay in school, reduces child abuse and neglect, provides safe shelter and supported housing, promotes healing, and saves lives. We impact the lives of hundreds of women and families every year. Now we will hear from one woman's journey who is very near and dear to our hearts.
I came to live here with my kids at one point, and when we got here, I basically didn't know what was really, called abuse. I thought it was normal, but deep down there was something that wasn't, you just knew something was off. And I went back with the same person, and and it was ever since then, it was just the treatment that you get. It's wrong. You just feel it inside when you don't have the freedom to basically just go and do normal things without having to be constantly on edge, or you feel like you're walking on eggshells all the time, afraid you'll say something wrong. It's not good for your mental health. It does a lot to you, and the longer you stick around, you might even develop some symptoms of PTSD, and then it just gets worse from there if you don't get out. It doesn't get any better. No matter how much you try, it's you can't change what another person, their behavior or anything. You can only change how you react or what you do about it. And when I came to the Y, I got support, and they understood. They understood everything that I was going through, and I wasn't the first woman to have gone through it, and I'm not gonna be the last either. And it took more than once, but no matter if I came back another time or time after that, it was always the same. They always welcomed me, they always supported me. It was never no, you were already here, or we already tried to help you. They never said no. They still welcomed me back, and they still try to help, and it was never like any judgment on their part or any like, because some people do, they're like, oh, you just get up and leave. It's not like that. Until you've been in a situation, you can't really say to someone like, oh, why don't you just leave? There's a lot of factors that come into play when you're in a situation like that. And a lot of it has to do with like what you can't see. You know, and it's like I said, it's a daily battle. It's every day. Like, when some of us can look like we're doing great, but when sometimes it's a fight. But if I didn't have the support that I still have, you know, even after years of coming back, there's no way I would have still been here. There was days that I just wanted to give up, but knowing that there was other women out there going through what I was going through and that I was able to help them in any kind of way is what got me to get up and come help in whatever way I could. It's scary, but you know, the only thing that has gotten me through is my faith in God. I think He's the one that's pulled me through most of my darkest days. He's the one that led me here, and I've gotten the support that I've needed here.
Thank you, Lily, for your willingness to share your story and for being such an ambassador for the cause. In 2020, 295 victims of abuse received protective shelter. This includes women, males, and children, for a total of 10,096 nights of shelter. We have assisted in 2,039 hotline calls, provided 224 individuals with 1,715 therapy sessions. Therapy is free to anyone in our community who is a victim of domestic violence or sexual assault. 563 people have received advocacy and support services, and we have provided 30 families with transitional housing. We have also provided 39 teen parents and 43 of their children with services, 118 7th grade girls and 76 7th grade boys for mentoring, and we've served 63 children in our child care program. I really could go on and on with numbers and statistics, but what this all means is we truly believe that our mission is to serve our community. We hope that you will join us in this cause by possibly sharing of your time, volunteering, your talents, providing your skills and strengths for those we serve, and or your treasures, your donations to help us to continue this work. Again, you can help us today by matching the Steve's Craig Challenge. Continue to watch the screen to see the number grow and help that grow, please.
Hello, I am Leanne Leonard, and this year I had the pleasure to co-chair this special event with Brandy Lutz. The Women of Excellence Awards process begins with a broad solicitation of nominations from the community. This year, nominations came from employers, coworkers, school counselors, friends, and family members. We thank the nominators who took the time to lift up these outstanding women and businesses to tell their amazing stories. All nominations are then blindly reviewed by a panel of community judges who consider the achievement, sustainability, impact, and role modeling of each nominee in the final selection of the award recipient in each category. This is no easy task, and I want to thank the judges for their thoughtful consideration and review. This year, we were able to host a nominee reception for our nominees at the Country Club in Country Club Village. We were able to have Sarah Beth Myers return and deliver a powerful keynote to the group of nominees. We would like to show you a clip of her message.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am thrilled and honored to be here tonight, especially to be surrounded by such amazing, intelligent, strong, and accomplished women that we are honoring here tonight. And one of the things that I love about coming back to St. Joe is to see how much it has changed, but to also see how much has remained the same. And I love being back home with all of you, whom I consider really to be part of my larger family, because I was here for 18 years. And this is a huge part of who I am, and it shaped my work and my life. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you to the board. Thank you to Tammy for having me back. And I want to talk about you all tonight, because tonight is about women who are out empowering others to make positive change in the community. And that is what you do. That is why you are here. And I'm so thrilled that we are celebrating you tonight, because we should be celebrating women every single day. And it is not easy in the society that we live in for a variety of reasons. But you are the change makers. You are creating positive change in your community here in St. Joe and beyond, and you will continue to do that in creative ways. Women who make change and influence are, in fact, problem solvers. You see a problem, you come up with a creative solution on how to fix it, and then you do it. And everybody has this potential, but not everyone takes action. And you are people of action. You are women of action. And thank you for doing this on behalf of all women in society. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about how I took action back in Nashville. But it wasn't just me alone, because it's never one person alone. It took a community of people. And in 2013, when I was an assistant district attorney, I noticed a problem. And the problem that I noticed was that I kept seeing women predominantly come in as victims of domestic violence. And I would see them come in with split lips, with broken eye sockets, and then sometimes I would see them a few weeks later with the same abuser. And the abuser would come into court. And that abuser may have only been to jail serving weekends. And during the week, the abuser would come home back to the same family that he was abusing, and then go back to jail to serve his time on the weekends. And when I started talking to people in the community, other women, about why this was happening, I was told it was because the men, the abusers in these cases, had to support their families. So they needed to go to work during the week so they could support their families and then serve their time on the weekends when it was convenient. Unbelievable. And so we started talking in people's living rooms, groups of small women getting together in living rooms, talking about what can we do to create positive change now for these women who are suffering every single week while their abusers are coming home during the week. What can we do about that? Because the problems that are facing women in the state of Tennessee are problems that are facing women everywhere. And I did a little research before I came because I was curious about what was going on in Missouri. So the Violence Policy Center releases statistics. They release statistics every single year, and they rank the states based on the number of women killed by men. Tennessee is consistently in the top 10 of the number of women killed by men in the United States. Missouri is number 2. When you go and you start asking why is this the case in our state, in our community, what is going on, when you dig deeper to try to figure out what is the source, the root of that problem, oftentimes it leads you back to policy. And policies, traditionally, for the past century, since women have had the right to vote, have been made by male-dominated legislators. And those policies were drafted by men, and they're women's issues. We need more women to be making a stand because we're the ones who understand our issues. And so we got together, we drafted a law, we'd never done that before, and we got it passed unanimously through the Tennessee General Assembly. And anyone can do that. Any single one of you can do that. And you've done other things, and you've done more than that. I know you have. Because when you see a problem, you fix it. And that's why you're here. So we drafted legislation that would make sure that people who are convicted of multiple domestic violence offenses would have to serve their jail time consecutively, not on the weekends, but 30 days altogether. Still 30 days, but not on the weekends, to give those families an opportunity to get resources, to get counseling, to move if they needed to move, to get their kids in a safe place and make a safety plan. Because how can you do that if you're just surviving? It's impossible. And so that change was the very first impetus for Awake, for the nonprofit. So Advocates for Women's and Kids Equality grew out of meetings with women in living rooms. And it's grown to the point where now we've passed 9 pieces of legislation, and we're gonna pass a whole bunch more because there's so much change that needs to happen, and it needs to be made by women, for women, because we see a problem and we fix it. So that is what we've been up to in Nashville, and my inspiration has been drawn from here, of course. But you all are out in the community and you are seeing the problems that are there, because we can't ignore the problems that are there. And when you see a problem, you've been creative about how you handle that. And I applaud all of you for your work in the community there. But the other thing that I really want to talk about too is perception. So in the community, when you go around and you talk to other people about domestic violence, which, as you know, is a huge problem in Missouri if you're number 2 on the list, the things that you hear most frequently, at least the things that I heard, were, why doesn't she leave? Why does she stay with the person who is abusing her? And it was always, why doesn't she? Why doesn't she? And that really needs to be flipped in our culture. Why is he abusing her? Why is he? That needs to be how we reframe that question. And again, when we dig deeper, it goes down to policy. Because culture changes quickly, but policy takes more time to change. So if you notice a pattern, if you see a problem and you notice a pattern, dig a little deeper, talk to your legislators, you're their boss, and figure out if maybe a policy solution could be the solution to help end whatever problem that happens to be. You all are on the cutting edge in your community, and you're able to make that change. That's how systemic change happens, at the individual level. And I know that you all are capable of so much because you're here tonight. So systemic change that begins with you, strong, intelligent, driven women who inspire others to do great work, you will continue to do that in your communities. It starts with you, because when you see a problem, you are fixing it. And thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Our mayor, Bill McMurray, was also able to extend his congratulations from the city to all of our nominees. We will now hear from Mayor McMurray.
Well, congratulations to all of the women who have been nominated in this year's Women of Excellence, sponsored by the YWCA. I can think of so many great ways to empower women in our community, and the YWCA does all of them, especially this program. It's been an inspiration for all the years that I've attended, and I'm looking forward to being a part of this wonderful event again in 2021. Again, congratulations to all the nominees.
I'm Brandy Lutz, the other Women of Excellence co-chair. I have the pleasure to announce the first of 2 Lifetime Achievement recipients. Congratulations to Karen Foley as the 2021 Woman of Excellence Lifetime Achievement Award in Volunteerism. Volunteering has been an integral part of Karen Foley's life from childhood to today. She believes that it's everyone's responsibility to participate and give back to the communities in which we live. Raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Karen started her volunteering activities in her elementary and high school days with the Girl Scouts in her church. Karen has always contributed in meaningful ways. In all 3 cities where she lived, Karen consistently opened her home and her heart for politicians, schools, and nonprofit fundraisers. Her generosity of spirit, time, and resources have been and continue to be boundless. Karen touches so many lives in the tireless work she does to improve the community in which she lives. Her inspiring perseverance, acts of kindness, and impact have made a difference for so many.
I want to thank the YWCA for this special honor and all the amazing work they do for the women in our community. I also want to thank St. Joseph, the birthplace of my mother, for all the volunteer opportunities it has offered me over the years. I was amazed to find so many interesting organizations to get involved in that frankly were out of my reach in larger cities where I have lived. My volunteerism has started in education here in St. Joe, moved on to arts, and then focused on neighborhoods and women's groups. My next effort was supporting the city itself and finally fundraising for the free clinic, which is the oldest in the country and so critical to our city's well-being. Along the way, I met wonderful and dedicated people who continue to inspire me. I am grateful to my husband, John Foley, who supported all my efforts and gave me the space to follow my passions. These opportunities took me on many fascinating adventures where I learned a lot, challenged myself, and hopefully had an impact. There are so many endless opportunities for people of St. Joe to get involved in all areas of the community. Their generosity in helping each other when it counts is remarkable, but their personal generosity needs to be channeled into civic, social, and cultural engagements, as there are incredible organizations making a consistent difference in this city that we all love. Volunteering has been one of the greatest joys of my life. It has fed my soul and given back tenfold. If there is one thing I can do to inspire others, it would be to push more individuals in our community to take up positions on boards for the city and beyond. Choose issues that matter to you and where you want to see change. What I believe in is faith, hope, and charity. We all have a role to play, so let's get out there and stay involved so we help St. Joe grow and the people who live here thrive.
I have the pleasure to announce our second 2021 Lifetime Achievement Award in the Workplace is Judy FUSTON. Judy has had a lifelong career as an educator and advocate for children. She obtained a bachelor's degree in elementary education and started out teaching kindergarten in Papillion, Nebraska. She then moved to St. Joseph and became a business owner of the New Experience Nursery School along with her business partner, Judy Anderson. Judy then worked in the St. Joseph School District, teaching in the elementary school. Judy went on to achieve a master's degree in guidance and counseling and then became an elementary guidance counselor. Her passion to serve her community led to memberships and leadership roles in many organizations. In 1959 Central High School yearbook, under Judy's senior picture, are the words, "A leading lady in all she does." Judy's passion and determination to improve the lives of children and community members proves this statement to be true. We are honored to recognize Judy FUSTON as the awardee of our Lifetime Achievement Award in the Workplace.
I want to begin by thanking the YWCA for bringing this wonderful event to St. Joseph and for sustaining it for almost 20 years. Carol Burns, Jean Brown, Tammy Kellen, you led and continue to lead the way to honoring women who make this community a better place. You three, indeed, are women of excellence. For me to be included in the ranks of past nominees and recipients is both thrilling and humbling. My sincere thanks to those who thought me worthy. Friday, May 26, 1978, my life was rocked to the core. On that day, one of our precious nursery school students was kidnapped from the downtown mall and killed. How could such a thing happen? How could such a thing happen in our town? Seeking answers, I enrolled in Northwest Missouri State College's master's level guidance and counseling program. Upon completion, I became one of the first 3 elementary counselors in the St. Joseph School District. It was the start of a 30-year quest to maximize opportunity and minimize risk for the children of St. Joseph. Better processes for reporting abuse neglect. Thank you, Linda Blank and Dwight Scroggins. Second chances for youngsters involved with drugs and the law. Thank you, Judge Robb and Chad Campbell. Stronger partnerships between community agents and SJSD. Thank you, Andrea Adderton, Donna Wilson, Judy Sabbert, Barb Wertzler, to name only a few. New programs in SJSD itself that could provide alternative opportunities. Thank you, Dan Coggin, Mark Hargens, Nancy Mooney, and our beloved Karen Carnes. What an honor to have been a part of that army. It was quite a journey. These days, I still love growing things, mostly flowers, vegetables, trees, and from time to time, I still get input into my 5 grandsons. Life is good. I'll end today with one of my favorite kids say the darndest things stories. At the time this occurred, I was an elementary counselor working in 2 North End schools, Humboldt and Pershing. It was a snowy day, and teachers and students alike were all hoping for an early dismissal. I was called to the Humboldt office. I had a phone call from a Pershing teacher. Never a good sign. To my amazement, when I picked up the phone, she was giggling. "Judy, this is Charlene." More giggling, almost laughter. "I just took my students to art and had to call and share this. Minutes ago, 2 of my boys were standing by the window. They were watching the snow and wondering if they were going to get home early. One said to the other, 'Do you think we'll get to go home early today?' The other replied, I don't know, it depends on Mrs. Fuston." "Mrs. Fuston? What does Mrs. Fuston have to do with getting out of school early?" "Well," said the other boy, "you know, she's the canceller." Now there was laughter on both ends of the phone line. I often say after telling that story that I never felt so powerful as when someone thought I could cancel school. But you know, it does feel a little bit powerful to think that in some small way, I may have had a part in improving the lives of our kids. Thanks for listening, and thanks again to the YWCA.
We will now proceed with our other award categories. Emerging Leader nominees are Angela Clark with Farmers Insurance, Dr. Heather Clark with Clark Family Dentistry, Chastity McCourt with InterServe, Devin Nold with Mosaic Life Care, and Abby Patterson with Mark Twain Elementary School. Our 2021 Emerging Leader is Chastity McCourt. Chastity McCourt is a first-generation college graduate who overcame great personal loss on her way to earning a degree. She started at Missouri Western State University in 2005 and put her education on hold following the death of her infant daughter. Just as she got back on track with her education, her mother passed away. Instead of giving up, she persevered and graduated in 2020 with a bachelor's degree in social work and sociology. While at Missouri Western State University, she was honored with the Jerry Dickey Award for Social Justice. Chastity began her career working for Community Missions Corporation in My Brother's House cold weather shelter, and then at the Haven in the early months of the pandemic. She currently works for InterServe as a coordinated entry case manager and assists in doing street outreach for individuals living without a home. Her optimism, dependability, empathy, and tenacity make her a valued employee and coworker.
Wow, what an honor to be here amongst so many amazing people and women. I never thought this would be possible. Growing up, I really came from nothing, and to be here, especially early on, just right after graduation, thank you so much to the YWCA and the steering committee, and to the person that nominated me and seen more in me than I ever seen in myself. I never thought I would be here, coming from nothing, literally first-time graduate, lived in poverty most of my life. This never seemed like something that I would even be capable of getting or even be here. And you know, I grew up never fitting in exact image. And so being here and knowing that I'm accepted just the way I am, blue hair and all, and to be able to look out there and tell every other blue-haired girl that you can be you and people will still love you, they will still accept you, you will still achieve success just being the quirky person that you are. That is amazing, and that is success, and that is love, and that is just acceptance, and all of us need that. So thank you so much for believing in me and for seeing that in me.
Each year, we are pleased to offer a $500 scholarship to a Future Leader awardee. The scholarship was initiated by the Y Women, a service organization that supported the mission of the YWCA. The members of the Y Women worked tirelessly through the years to further the YWCA mission of empowering women and eliminating racism, and we hope our Future Leader nominees will continue their work toward this goal as well. Future Leader nominees are Avery Sumner, Lafayette High School; Mariana Sanchez, Benton High School; Grace Heater, Bishop LeBlond; Grace Tang, Central High School; Sophia HUNZIGER, North Andrew High School; Jillian Cook, Savannah High School. Our 2021 Future Leader is Sophia HUNZIGER, North Andrew High School. Sophia HUNZIGER is highly involved in numerous activities at North Andrew High School. Her most notable accomplishments are in FCCLA and archery. She is the current FCCLA Missouri State President and formerly held positions as school president and regional officer. Her dedication to FCCLA has inspired others to become active in the organization and to compete at state and national events. Sophia excels in the sport of archery and is nationally ranked. She has earned 4 top 10 finishes in national archery competitions throughout the United States in the past 2 years. She helped start the archery program at North Andrew High School with just 2 high school participants in 2017. Thanks in part to her efforts and success, the program has grown to 42 students with participants as young as 4th grade. Through her example, Sophia has shown other students that even in a small town, you can achieve big dreams.
First, I'd like to start with thanking my counselor, Kelsey Meyer, and my FACS advisor, Kelsey Neal, for nominating me for this amazing opportunity. I then would like to thank my parents, Chester and Mindy Hunziger, for continuing to push me and traveling with me all over the country in my archery and FCCLA careers and teaching me to be the woman I am today. I would like to thank the North Andrew community for continuing to support me in all my achievements, adventures, and continued successes. I appreciate this opportunity to be recognized as a woman of excellence.
On to the Woman in the Workplace Leadership Award nominees. Cassie Walker with Freudenthal Hospice, Corky Marquardt with Commerce Bank, Candy Whitaker with Missouri Western State University, Christy Rippey with the St. Joseph Real Estate Group, and Erica Walker with the Comfort Center. Our 2021 Woman in the Workplace Leadership awardee is Corky Marquardt. Corky Marquardt spent over 40 years specializing in accounting, commercial lending, and management. She was the first female president of Commerce Bank in St. Joseph and served in that capacity for 7 years until retiring in 2020. Prior to serving as president, she was executive vice president in charge of operations for 10 years, as well as a team leader. Her actions and achievements created a platform for the advancement of women within the company, and her attainment of the president position shattered the former glass ceiling for future women leaders. In addition to her workplace achievements, she served in leadership roles on numerous community boards, committees, and fundraising campaigns, and earned Commerce Bank Employee Commendation Award in recognition of her community leadership and exceptional work and service.
I want to first recognize my late parents who instilled a strong work ethic in their 5 children as we grew up on the farm. As the oldest, I assumed the role of boss at an early age and developed my leadership skills at my brother and 3 sisters' expense. So I want to thank them, my siblings, for the much needed and often unappreciated feedback they shared with me when we were growing up. Thanks to my husband for his support and help over the years in spite of his demanding job. Thanks to my kids for their ability to keep me humble and a sense of humor. Quick story, my daughter was in high school and went to Commerce to cash a check. The teller looked at the check and looked at her and asked her if she was Judge Marquardt's daughter. She was waiting for the teller to say something about me since I was the executive vice president of the bank at the time, but that didn't happen. So Brooke came home and said to me, she said, "Mom, just so you know, you're not the big deal you think you are at the bank." So the kids were a constant reminder to never assume that I was too important. I want to thank 2 great friends, and I'm not going to mention their names, but they know who they are, who talked me off the ledge many times when I was frustrated. A leader has to have those people that can offer a sympathetic ear and sound advice. I would never have kept my sanity without them and appreciate their friendship very much. And finally, thanks to my staff at Commerce Bank. They are a wonderful group of professionals who had my back and made me look good every day. All the best to the YWCA for another wonderful event celebrating women. Thank you.
Our Women in Volunteerism nominees are Ann Irvin with Sparkle Peach, Suzanne Eichenmuller with Junior League of St. Joseph, Mary Schumann with CASA, Marta Green with Social Welfare Board, Jenny Clayton with Ladies Union Benevolent Association, and Kim Peters with Girl Scouts. Our 2021 Women in Volunteerism is Marta Green. Marta Green moved to St. Joseph in 2013 and has spent countless hours making an impact. As a volunteer for the Social Welfare Board, she researched and wrote successful grant proposals for the development of the Health Initiative. She was involved in formulating Imagine 2040 for the City of St. Joseph and instrumental in the Farron Street Revitalization Project. As a neighbor of Edison Elementary School, she has mentored 6th graders, served as the PTA secretary, and is working on a task force with the National Park Service and Trails Association to better teach St. Joseph history and bring a historic park to the Edison campus. She started and helps maintain the Edison Walking School Bus to provide a safe way for children in that area to walk to school. Her other volunteer achievements include serving as president of Harris Kemper Neighborhood Association and on the InterServe Board of Directors.
My husband and I have so enjoyed being part of St. Joseph. We have enjoyed being with friends who are old friends and new friends. We've loved locking arms with people for the good of our community. It's such a privilege to do work here and to be part of the community. I actually think we get to see the actual work of God in progress. I think we get to see relationships built. We get to see dark places get light shined on them. We get to see places that were broken rebuilt. We get to see people encouraged and comforted and mentored. We get to see tangible help In short, I think we see the works of God, and I am most encouraged that we get to do that together.
Our Women in the Workplace nominees are Katie Buellman with Missouri Probation and Parole, Sheila Mendez with Community Missions, Cheyenne Dorrell Giles with Big Brothers Big Sisters, Julie Barber with Stiefel, Tracy Verdusco with Central High School, Katie McCullough with the St. Joseph School District. Our Woman in the Workplace winner is Julie Barber. As operations manager for Stiefel, Julie Barber is the go-to person for everything from manually fixing mechanical door closers to helping settle multi-million-dollar accounts. In addition to handling all the day-to-day operational duties in an office of 14 and managing support staff, she is a full-time dedicated assistant to 4 producers who handle 2,300 client accounts. Her knowledge of the business and 30 years of experience in the field makes her the expert for technical issues and problem solving. Coworkers and clients alike are totally comfortable with her handling calls or meetings due to her depth of knowledge and skill. Julie juggles all these duties and is still able to complete tasks in a timely, accurate manner.
I am overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive the Women in the Workplace Award. What an honor it is to have been thought of so highly by someone that they took the time to fill out the nomination form and send it in. It is definitely not something I expected. I'm still trying to work through the shock of that, so this being selected thing has me speechless. But I must throw out a big congratulations to all the nominees. I am no more deserving than you. I think most of us understand how hard it seems sometimes to juggle everything. Our jobs, families, the never-ending laundry, and all the activities we run our kids to, and still try to find time to volunteer or help aging parents and neighbors. So at the end of that every exhausting day, knowing it's all gonna start again tomorrow, we somehow manage it and wouldn't want it any other way. So to the YWCA, thank you for everything you do for our community. And to the Women of Excellence Committee, thank you for this annual event to recognize us. I am humbled and appreciative. Thank you.
For Women in Entrepreneurship, the nominees are Jackie Allison with 3 Wishes Bakery, Jennifer Milborn with Merle Norman Cosmetics, Lucina Timmerman with Tienda La Estrella. Our 2021 Woman in Entrepreneurship is Lucina Timmerman. Lucina Timmerman has overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles on her way to becoming a successful business owner. At the age of 12, her parents brought her to the United States, and soon after, her brother and mother died. She was sent back to Mexico, but later returned to care for her younger siblings. Despite not having the opportunity to even finish elementary school, Lucina opened her grocery store, Tienda La Estrella, in 2008. Through her business and church affiliation, she is well known within the Hispanic community and is frequently called upon to help newcomers to our city. She is always willing to help and has helped many individuals and families with food, clothing, and finding places to live and work. Lucina serves as a role model of tenacity, compassion, and commitment to service.
I thank you for my community for supporting my business. After all these years, I'm still here and I'm working very hard to continue helping my community. Thank you to my husband, to my kids. They've always been there to support me. I want to thank the YWCA for this event. Thank you.
Employer of Excellence nominees are Downing Pediatrics and St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Our 2021 Employer of Excellence is Downing Pediatrics. Dr. Sybil Downing, MD, left a well-established clinic and started her own practice during the pandemic. When she started the clinic, it was just her answering patient phone calls, and she made herself available even after regular business hours. With hard work and dedication, additional staff were added, and the practice continues to grow and thrive. With added staff, policies were created that were flexible enough to meet the needs of her employees and their families. In addition to her own clinic, Dr. Downing helped to reestablish the community care clinic at Carden Park Elementary that provides medical care to children who might otherwise not have access to a physician. Dr. Downing is well respected by her peers, staff, and patients, and handles all situations in a professional, respectful manner. Staff consider her to be a role model and see the positive impact that she makes on the children and families that she cares for daily.
I feel tremendously honored to be nominated for this recognition. Downing Pediatrics opened just 1 year ago with the onset of the pandemic. That timing was challenging, but allowed me the opportunity to grow in an intentional way. Our goals were to advance pediatric health in our community, surround ourselves with talented staff who happen to all be working moms themselves, and support other local businesswomen. I want to thank my team at work for the nomination, for making it a joy to come to work each day. Thanks too to my family and friends who supported me and encouraged me in this endeavor. Being self-employed has allowed me to pursue opportunities that wouldn't have otherwise been available to me, and I hope that we can make a difference in St. Joseph for our kids. Thank you.
For the last award of our program, I am honored to announce the Y Woman of Merit. In 2002, the YWCA Board of Directors established a special award, the Y Woman of Merit, for a woman who throughout the years has provided dedicated services and support to YWCA. The award is presented each year at our annual meeting in April. Our 2021 Y Woman of Merit is Donna Wilson. Donna chose a career in nursing with the goal of influencing care and treatment for vulnerable populations. Her career path led to having a deeper understanding of those who are struggling and marginalized. She became acutely aware that social issues such as poverty, unemployment, and lack of education had a detrimental impact on the health of individuals and communities. Addressing these issues has become her passion, both personally and professionally, and led to becoming an outspoken advocate, community activist, and volunteer. Donna has a long, productive history of service to YWCA St. Joseph, serving on the YWCA Board of Directors, being active in the success of Women of Excellence events, and serving on the steering committee as a table captain. She herself was a Woman of Excellence nominee for Women in Workplace. Donna was instrumental in the growth of the teen parenting and mentoring program and worked to ensure that adequate funding was available to meet the community need. Donna has played a significant role in many community initiatives supporting vulnerable populations, including the implementation of the Mobile Medical Services for Children, a pediatric dental program, reentry program, and a former emergency shelter. Donna's support of YWCA St. Joseph and her significant contributions to the health, safety, and well-being of members of our community make her a true Y Woman of Merit.
Thank you, Tammy, for those kind remarks. I'm very honored to receive the Y Woman of Merit Award for the YWCA that works so diligently to improve the lives of women and children in our community. But I must tell you, there are so many people and organizations that should be with me today. The accomplishments that Tammy mentioned were possible only because of these community partnerships that have made such a difference over the years. Thank you all so much for your guidance and support that you have given me. I would like to thank Mosaic for the opportunity to work in the community for the past 27 years to address gaps in care and work toward a healthier population. I would also like to thank my family for their support in coming to my rescue to help push a project over the finish line. St. Joseph is a great place to make things happen, and I am looking forward to seeing what great things we can accomplish in the future. As Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you.
I want to add my personal congratulations and thanks to all of our nominees and award recipients. Thank you to Sarah Beth Myers for being a part of our program again this year and for your words of inspiration, reminding us all the impact we each can have in others' lives and in our community. Finally, I want to thank our sponsors who partnered with the YWCA in recognition and celebration of Women of Excellence in our community. All program sponsors are also listed in the program booklet. We truly thank you. We haven't forgotten about the cupcake winners. Those who purchased cupcakes were entered into a drawing for one of two fabulous gifts, a diamond necklace from Kristen Coin and Jewelry or a Botox treatment by Dr. Jonathan Amsbacher. These lucky winners will be drawn tomorrow evening during Live at 5, so stay tuned. For those of you who have donated to our event and to the YWCA, please note that gifts of $100 or more are eligible for a domestic violence 50% tax credit. Thanks for your participation and generous contributions. In closing, as board chair, I would like to personally thank Tammy Killen and her team at the YWCA, and the committee and volunteers that work so very hard on this event every year. We also want to thank the community for supporting Women of Excellence for the past 20 years. We truly have been able to recognize strong women in our community, and with your continued support, we will be able to continue this legacy for many more years to come.
This wraps up our program today. Again, thank you for watching and for being a part of our efforts to recognize some amazing women in our community. Every year we hear the same message, that we have a great group of women this year. And that's because we have a great community that uplifts women to be leaders, inspirers, and supporters, and encourages for us. Congratulations again to awardees and all the nominees. Thank you for helping us to continue to recognize strong women, and thank you to all those who've helped us generate important dollars and help us to sustain critical YWCA programs that make a difference in the lives of women and children in the community every day. We truly appreciate your presence today, your recognition for the women leaders in the community, and your support to YWCA. We hope you all will join us next year for the 21st Annual YWCA Women of Excellence Awards Luncheon on June 16th, 2022. More details to follow, and we'll see what the future holds.